two mischievous children were throwing objects from the rooftop of a tall building, causing the innocent death of a 3-year-old boy. The boy's mother happened to be a local court judge, but as a relative of the victim, she could not participate in the trial. However, since the perpetrators were two juveniles under the age of 12, the trial process lasted only a brief 3 minutes. The two young offenders walked past the victim's mother with smiles on their faces, escaping severe legal punishment due to the protection law for minors. This left the mother in deep despair and fostered a strong resentment towards juvenile offenders. 5 years later, Lisa was transferred to a juvenile court to serve as a judge. Every juvenile offender who went through her court faced the harshest possible punishments. One day, a gang rape case was brought to the court, and Lisa was assigned to handle it. However, when she saw one of the young defendants, Lisa suddenly found it difficult to breathe. The person named Jack was one of the perpetrators who had caused the death of her own son years ago. Instead of repenting after being spared by the law, he had become an even more despicable criminal. Lisa was so emotionally overwhelmed that she fainted in court. After recovering, Lisa became even more determined to handle this case herself, seeking to bring justice to the victim and avenge her own deceased child. According to the case file, the victim was discovered by construction workers at a construction site in the early morning, still unconscious. The workers immediately called the police. Based on the victim's statement, 3 individuals were involved in the assault. The police arrested 3 juveniles according to the testimony. However, at this moment, the girl recalled that in her drunken and confused state, she had vaguely noticed a 4th person present. If her statements were inconsistent, it could be detrimental to her case. Moreover, the crime scene was still under construction and had no surveillance cameras installed. Therefore, the police concluded that the girl's memory was distorted due to post-traumatic stress disorder. Based on the DNA evidence found in the girl's body, 2 of the juvenile offenders were undoubtedly sentenced to prison. Only Jack managed to escape punishment. Jack only admitted to the drinking part and repeatedly denied any involvement in the gang rape. He even insisted that he had tried to stop the other 2, portraying himself as an innocent, pitiful good person. Faced with the evidence, the court accepted Jack's testimony and converted the criminal case into a juvenile protection case, which would not be made public. Lisa was furious when she learned about this and was determined to send Jack to prison. Through her research, Lisa discovered that Jack had 7 criminal records in the past 5 years, each one more heinous than the last, but he had never faced severe punishment. When her colleagues learned that Lisa was going to preside over the trial of the criminal who had killed her own son, they tried to dissuade her from acting impulsively. The law stipulates that when a presiding judge has a conflict of interest with the parties involved, the judge should recuse themselves, or else face judicial penalties. However, Lisa refused to listen to their advice. In court, Jack claimed that all his actions were coerced. His lawyer presented photos of Jack's injuries, alleging that whenever Jack showed any sign of resistance, he would be beaten by the other 2. He even claimed that he had never been to the construction site where the girl was assaulted and that he had tried to stop the other 2 from committing the crime. Jack's performance in court shocked Lisa. Next, Lisa presented a piece of evidence. The police had obtained footage from a dash cam in a vehicle parked at the construction site, clearly showing that Jack was indeed present at the factory and had committed the crime. Finally, on the grounds that Jack was an accomplice in the gang rape case, Lisa upgraded his status to a juvenile criminal suspect. Will Lisa be able to avenge her son as she wished? This captivating Korean TV series is called Juvenile Justice.